Hello, denizens. Episode 5 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds has recently squeezed out of Paramount Plus's birthing canal, and I have my former network executive reaction ready. I don't usually do reviews, as most of you know, but you denizens demanded that I do SNW as you wish. Warning, there will be spoilers. If you're new to this channel, I try to take a network's perspective of such creative efforts, and as such might not align with those of you committed to a perfect canon-by-canon dissertation. There are already many channels that do that, so why repeat what other people are doing? You'll also notice that these videos are fairly brief. I don't know how a YouTube review of a 45-minute show can be double the length of the actual show, but who am I to complain? As a former network executive, I had only one job, and that was to keep my job. With that out of the way, let's get on with the review. Now that we are 5 episodes in, here's my 50,000 feet observations. That's corp speak for viewing from a distance. And you thought that this wasn't an educational channel. I have watched TOS, TNG, DS9 in their entirety. Never really got into Voyager. Captain Janeway always reminded me of my grade 3 teacher, Mrs. Kruk, at Greenland Road Public School in Don Mills, who gave me detentions for laughing in class. She gave me nightmares. Anyway, so as I was mentioning in my review of episode 4, if you are carrying any Star Trek baggage into Strange New Worlds, you might be disappointed. You really need to leave your Star Trek baggage with the concierge, or you're just not going to enjoy this show. The other thing you will come to realize is that the show is not about allegorical sci-fi. Strange New Worlds is actually really the Love Boat in space. For those of you unfamiliar with the hugely popular TV series, I suggest you find an episode of this Aaron Spelling masterpiece somewhere and watch one. This was not a complex show. It was filled with goofy fun that you have to watch without judgment or don't bother. But, I mean, that's the case of any sci-fi or fantasy show anyway, right? I did enjoy the callback to the fighting sequence from Amok Time. Da, 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 da. The highlight of the show was Pike's interaction with the Rongovian aliens. The punchline was truly TOS in every way. Anson Mount and his hair were stars in this show. The most wacky bit was the personality switcheroo between Spock and T'Pring. Completely unexpected. Yes, this was right out of Disney's Freaky Friday, which I also loved. It really highlighted the acting of Ethan Peck and Gia Sandhu. Yes, Ethan can act. When actors are having fun acting, it's infectious. It's what Anson Mount and his hair brings to the show. I'm not going to argue the merits of the personality switch. In a weird Vulcan way, it was more logical and believable than wishing to a Coney Island fortune-telling machine that you want to be big. The ending of that scene, which showed Spock and T'Pring happy together, made me sad, knowing what was to transpire in Amok Time. This episode was suitably called Spock Amok. There was an interesting interaction between Spock and Nurse Chapel. I got the sense that they were starting the Chapel pining for Spock arc. Yes, Una and La'an have their subplot. It's actually very enjoyable. I have complained in the past that those two characters are sharing the same space. Oh yeah, I just got it. And I would prefer to concentrate on just building the Una plots, but they worked well together here. The fact that the two most serious characters took on some comic relief was also a surprise. I also like that they had a nice girlmance going on with no sexual overtones. The simplicity of having two women just being friends and enjoying each other's company was much more engaging than the estrogen hysteria on Discovery. Perhaps they learned that, the producers learned that less is more. that didn't mean we didn't get, a hint of some girl-on-girl action between Chappell and Ortegas. Finally, it was more of a hint, but we know what's coming. Maybe Chappell is less bi and just sexually adventurous. I have no idea. I might be reading more into those few words and the look than necessary, but we shall see. The episode was written by
Henry Alonzo Myers and Robin Wasserman.
As I said, the segments with Pike and the Rongovians was very good. Pitch perfect. The Spock and T'Pring scenes, I'm sure, were tough to write, but I think they managed to make it logically coherent and quite emotional at the end. I was really impressed. The impetus for the Una and La'an subplot with certain younger crew members behaving more like 13-year-olds was off-putting initially, but, this is the Love Boat in space and not a military vessel, I have to keep telling myself. But after that, the bingo premise worked fine. The direction by Rachel Leiterman was excellent. I found nothing that took me out of the show. It seems the SNW director playbook does not require the vomit comet style of Discovery camera work. Finally, regarding the Love Boat theme, and yes, I know there was an SNL sketch, I won't make stupid comparisons between Pike and Captain Stubing. First of all, Stubing had no hair. I mean, that's the obvious difference. But right now, if Strange New Worlds started building episodes with, the idea of having a famous guest star every week, like The Love Boat, featuring people like Frances McDermott, Jay-Z, and Beyonce, maybe one with Pete Davidson, where all alien women find him inexplicably sexually attractive, I would certainly make that suggestion. Of course, it's a terrible idea, dumb suggestion, but that's what a network executive does, especially a former one. Till next time, denizens, be seeing you.